Everybody, welcome to the Week 12 recap. 12 down, 2 to go before the playoffs begin. Look at there. Finally, 2 games above 500. Winning over Matt Sikora. 110 to 85. 2 weeks in a row scoring 100 as well. Andrew getting his first win in a while. Beating Maria by just 7 points. Here in this Thanksgiving Week 12. Mason, thank God he didn't score them points last week because he would have beat me. Beating Gary 131 to 90. Bill winning for the 10th game this year over Pat 109 to 94. Matt Fisher yet again, another win. He's on a heck of a win streak right now. I believe that's 4 games for him. Him and Caitlin both 4-game win streak. As you look below that, she won as well, winning her 4th straight. She was 4-4, now 8-4. Matt Fisher beats Dylan 119 to 99. Caitlin beating Zach Flippin 123 to 95. Colby's team finally showed back up again, 156 to 95 over Chuck, as they both are now 6-6. And then my dad winning 131 to 84 over Brandon. As Brandon drops to 4-8. Before we look at the standings, you'll find out in a little bit that there are now 2 teams that have officially clinched a playoff spot. 1 team is officially eliminated from the playoff contention. You'll see the standings in a little bit. But you can probably guess by looking at the records who's what. Obviously, we know Bill is one of the ones that has locked in a playoff spot, as he locked one in last week. He locked the playoff spot he clinched last week. So here we go. Gardner Minshew scoring 14. Tony Pollard showing up to play, 22 points. Miami defense on Black Friday. Big 23 points right there for me. And Tyler Bass with 10. Yet again, had the wrong tight end in, as Laporta on my bench had 17, Kittle with 4.9. Over to the other side. Russell Wilson, 16 points. Mike Evans, 25. He was the one that was scaring me. As he was racking up points. Jaden Reed on his bench had 15. But other than that, nothing really. But did not get... I pulled off the win here. Even with Mike Evans' 25 points. Thank you, Miami defense. Really helped out there. But it was... what, 25-point win, so that's that. The 0 point over here also helped me, so I beat my projected score of 108. But there was at one point during this too, I had a projected score beating him by like 20 points at one point in the live play on Sunday, and then at one point it actually got down to me only winning, like the projected score was only me winning by 1 at one point. Like it got that low, and then A.J. Brown scored a late touchdown on Sunday. I think it was Sunday Night Football they played, right? I know it was a night game. I think it was Sunday night, yeah. But he scored a touchdown and it got me a bunch more points, so got me back up and getting, a little more cushion, but it was scary there for a little bit during that. Over here, Maria's team finally shows up a little bit and scores 109, but loses to Andrew, who also had a 0 over there. And Jordan Love showed up on Thanksgiving, beating the Lions, scoring 26 points there. And also it did not help Maria over here if you look. 6 points lost for the Commanders defense. Still would have lost even if it was 0. But, man, little things like that. And this hurts. Tight end Pat Freiermuth for the Steelers scoring 21. That difference right there was 8 points. If she had him in the tight end spot instead, would have won even with the 6-point loss. Gotta love it. Gotta love fantasy football sometimes, right? So, Andrew winning over Maria and moves to 3-9. Gary losing another week. Mason's team showed up to play this week as well. Deebo Samuel 22 on Thanksgiving night. Zay Flowers 23. Trevor Lawrence with 24 points, and even a lot of double digits there and a couple 8s. So very good scoring on Mason's side there. Stevenson on Gary's team at 21. Jalen Waddle with 19, but Tua only scoring 7.82, even though they dominated the Jets that day. Jacoby Myers on his bench had 20.1 that if he could have had in. He wouldn't have won anyway, I don't think, but that's what the benches look like. I don't think any changes would have done any different. But moving on to Bill winning his 10th game. He already clinched a playoff spot last week after even losing last week. He clinched a spot with 3 weeks left. So he already had it, even with 3 weeks left. That's how you know you've been having a good year in fantasy football. So Bill winning goes to 10-2. First one to double digits. Had Justin Herbert in, and of course, last week he had Herbert on the bench scoring more. The week before that he had C.J. Stroud on the bench who scored more. Now he puts C.J. Stroud back on the bench. Guess what? He scores more than Justin Herbert. So he's been having the wrong quarterback in. The quarterback that's been scoring the most has been on his bench for like 3 weeks in a row. But he's still got 2 out of 3 wins in the last 3 weeks. So that's, he's got a heck of a team over that can really figure stuff out. On paper, you wouldn't think he'd have, that good of a team like what he's been doing, but Alvin Kamara can show up at times and really go off. I think he's had almost 40 points one game. Devontae Smith with 23 there. Ravens defense with 16. Tucker with 9. And on the left side, Raheem Mostert, 21. And Travis Kelce with 15. And Broncos defense holding 17 points. On the bench, that C.J. Stroud could have really got a score higher, but still won, so no big deal there. Moving on to Matt Fisher and Dylan. Christian McCaffrey with 30 points. And then a couple double digits over there, getting him the win. Here Dylan had a 34-point Jalen Hurts and 25 for Tyreek Hill. Nobody else helped him get that win. Those 2 players were almost way higher than Matt's top 2 players, pretty much. But nobody else got anything. All single digits, basically, other than Jahmyr Gibbs. But, that's tough. 22.5 for Gabe Davis on the bench as well in the wide receiver slot. That hurts. Anyway. Sam Howell had more points than Lamar Jackson did on the bench for Matt Fisher as well. Brandon Cooks had 17 as well. So, but that's how that game went. As Matt Fisher wins, getting his 9th win of the season. Dylan's still holding strong at 7-5. Caitlin Fisher with her 4th victory in a row. Josh Allen with almost 40 points. She had a 0 on her team, but that 40 points for Josh Allen really, really helped. On the other side, Mac Jones didn't even have a point. He had negative points in the loss to the Giants. Yikes. Yikes. Bijan Robinson, 27. Pittman with 20. And Nico Collins with 23.4. And also had a 0 on his side. So, man, both tight ends did not play. No point in the tight end spot in this entire game. 0 tight end points between both sides of the ball. That's interesting. They both beat their projected scores, but Caitlin with the win. Look at her bench. She had a 25.9 and a 19.9 on her bench as well. Not much really else on the other side. Moving on to Kobe's highest score of the week, 156.04. Kyler Murray with 20. Josh Jacobs 22. Jonathan Taylor 21. Calvin Ridley 21.9 on his bench. Kyron Williams 38.4. Stephon Diggs 19.4. Cowboys defense 14 on Thanksgiving. That's as good as a team can get. Obviously you have like the 4.5 and the 9 could have been better. The 6.7 could have been better, but on the other side, Patrick Mahomes scoring 20 and CeeDee Lamb with 17, but losing 2 points from the Eagles defense. The kicker with 18. And here Matthew Stafford on the bench had 23, but really it's only a 3-point difference from his starting quarterback, so that really wasn't that much of a difference. And that's how that looked. Not much you can do against a 156 score. That's a hard score to beat. And moving on to the final game of the week, my dad beating Brandon. The kicker with 0 for Brandon, even though he was projected at 8.4. Nothing over 15 points for Brandon. David Montgomery, the highest scorer on the team there. Dak Prescott on Thanksgiving went off. 32 points. 24 for Rashee Rice. And DJ Moore, 22.4. So that alone right there can really get you a lot of points. So 131-84 victory. Even had an 18.4 on the bench. So, yeah, that's also a high score. So, not much else you can do there either. Let's look at the standings, and there you see Matt Fisher is the second team to make the playoffs, as they're both with the X. They both clinched. They both playoff percent 100% because they have clinched the playoff spot. And the one team eliminated is Andrew at the bottom, 3-9. Not much he can do. So 2 weeks remain, and this next week, with week 13, can knock another 3 teams out. If all 3 of the 4 and 8 teams lose, or any of the 7th, 8th, and 9th place teams win, it can very well, next week can really very well knock out about probably at least 2 to 3 teams, eliminate 2 or 3 teams out of contention for the playoffs here in the next week. Hopefully I'm not one of them. I don't even know who I'm facing this next week, so we'll find that out here too. I haven't really been doing that all year, is looking who's coming up next for everybody, or what the matchups, previewing the matchups coming up. I haven't been doing that, so I'll do that real quick. But here's the standings. If you look down here, I have to stay a game ahead of Colby and my dad and Chuck, because I do not have the points for to help me. If I'm the same record as them, I'm going to be at the bottom of that list. So, because if I was the same record as Colby and my dad and Chuck right now, I'd be in 8th, but barely, only by 13 points over Chuck there. So that points for is hurting me bad. I got one of the lowest point fours in the entire top 10. And Chuck is the other one that's lower than me, but yeah, my points for is not good. I haven't been scoring a ton of points every week. Just been enough to get in. I've been scoring barely 100, often 90 to 100 for most of the weeks. I had the 1 week where I scored like 140 something, and then like 2 weeks where I scored like 60 or 70. Other than that, I've been averaging like 90 to 100 a week. 90 to 105-ish or something like that. In the 110, up to 110 was really the max I've been getting, other than the 1 week I had there. So it's been kind of low, but yeah, these two 4-game win streak, the biggest streak in the game are both of them. Ironically, husband and wife, so that's interesting. They got the highest streak in the game, win or loss. The next closest is 3, with Brandon losing 3 straight weeks. That's the next best streak, or worst, I should say, for him. If you look down here, though, 10th place. He's 2 games behind me in record, but has almost 50 points higher than me in scoring. He scored 50 points higher than me total, but is in 10th at 5-7, and I'm 2 games better in the win column, only scoring 1197. So I've kind of been getting a little lucky this year, finally, but it's tough how that works sometimes. It's crazy that Caitlin's actually got the most points scored in the whole entire season, even with 4 losses. Even more than Bill's, who's leading at 10-2 right now. So weird how things work. So 2 weeks left before the playoffs. We'll really start determining who's going to be closer to making the playoffs and closer to being eliminated after week 13 is over and 1 week remains after that. So 2 weeks left. If I can win and Chuck can lose, I believe I would clinch, yes, because I'm already 1 game ahead. I'd be 2 games ahead with 1 game left. So, if Chuck happens to lose this week and I win, I will clinch a spot. Wow, you know something? Yeah, wait, there's only 2 weeks left. Yeah, this next week is going to take a lot of people out and put a lot of people in, because you can only be... So at this point, if I win, that'll knock out... Well, if my dad wins and goes to 7-6, that will knock out everybody. If Colby and my dad win and go to 7-6, that'll knock out everybody below 13th. So 13th, 14th, 15th will be knocked out. And if any of 10th, 11th, or 12th loses, they'll be knocked out as well. A lot can happen here in the next week. So that should be interesting to look forward to. Real quick, that's preview. Week 13, oh no! I'm going against Caitlin. That's not not who I want to face right now. She's on a hot streak. Oh, Jesus. That is not good. Facing Caitlin, who just, on a 4-game win streak, been scoring like 130 points. Projected right now at 67, but let me see. What's the box score look like? Like, who does she not have in yet? Okay, so she... Oh. Ooh, this could be a good thing. Yes, this could be a very, very good thing. Oh. She's got 2 kickers. Both of them are on the bye the same week. How about that? Yeah, no bye on both kickers. Josh Allen is off this week as well. Boy, did I catch her on the right time. Jesus. And the wide receivers down here projected 11-1 would have been higher than, yeah. So this is probably the best week to face her. Oh no, I only got 1 kicker. I gotta get another kicker. Shoot. Because I don't have Bass this week, so I gotta get another kicker. I gotta pay attention. I gotta do that right now. But right now I'm projected at 101. Anybody else I can put in? Bryce Young's 13, but eh. Oh, I don't really want to play Gardner Minshew. He's playing the Titans. We need to win and shut them down. Man, that's tough. Oh crap, he's projected at 18 against the Eagles. Oh wait, that's not what I want. There's 13 and 11. Okay, so we'll figure it out. But right now we're projected to win because she didn't mess with the team yet, but I'm sure she can make other little things happen there to make it closer. But that's the projected total at the moment. Alright, so Mason is facing Maria. Bill has Andrew. Gary has Matt Sakura. Pat and Dylan are facing each other. 2 7-5 teams. So one of them is going to lose. So if I win, that'll be good for me. Those are the other 2 7-5 teams. The only other 2. So one of them's going to lose. Matt Fisher has Chuck. And then my dad has Zach Flippin. And then Colby and Brandon. So that's the matchups here coming up in week 13. That'll do it, and we'll see you at the end of week 13, and we'll really see how the playoffs are shaping up when we get to that point. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.